I love Genshin Impact, or at least I should probably say I used to love Genshin Impact. I'm currently still playing it, but I've got a lot of issues, and Wuthering Waves 2.0 has completely ruined Genshin Impact for me. This video isn't going to be some dramatic rage bait video where I tear apart Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse, or I endlessly praise Kuro Games as the savior of the gacha world. Not quite. I'm just a guy sharing my honest opinion as a long-term player and spender who thinks that Wuthering Waves 2.0 and the devs behind it have just completely changed my perspective on Genshin Impact. So let me explain. Over the past 3 to 4 weeks of playing Wuthering Waves from a new player's perspective, I've just come to realize I don't think I can go back to how the way things were before, and honestly, that's probably a good thing. First things first though, welcome back to the channel. My name is Zeno, and today we're going to be talking about how Wuthering Waves has shifted my perspective on quality, and why it's time we start expecting more from these Hoyoverse games. Let me say this up front, I feel like I don't need to say this, but I have to anyway. If you're enjoying Genshin Impact, that is awesome. I'm not here to take that away from you. If you love the story, the characters, the lore, the new regions, I'm super happy for you. I hope you keep winning your 50-50s and having a blast. Like, this video isn't about tearing Genshin down, although it probably should be. It's just about my perspective as someone who's played a lot of these games for many years. Side note, this is the first video on the channel, so it's not going to be super polished, it's not going to be well edited, and the footage won't be the best because Wuthering Waves runs really poorly on my PC, so recording gameplay slows it down even more. I'm actually hoping to play it on my PS5 soon, but for now, I gotta wait until Kuro Games' damn customer support gets back to me, so just please bear with me. This is purely just a casual chat. So some quick background for perspective. I've played Genshin Impact for over 1,300 hours at this point, and nearly all of that, well, I've got over 1,270 hours just on my PS5 alone. I've logged in every single day for 902 days straight. Help me. Since I came back to the game a few years ago, I've got 825 achievements. I don't really achievement hunt though. 66 characters, many of them with top 3 to top 10% builds. I min-max and I really try and get into the meta and making my characters the best that they can be. I complete the Spiral Abyss and most of the theater challenges every month. I don't really do the theater as much because I really don't like it and think it's poorly designed, but that's another topic for a different day. I've spent money on the game, absolutely. Recently, I actually just bought all the top-up packs to make sure that I got Citlali's and Mavuika's weapons because I was losing 50-50s. Before that, though, I hadn't actually spent any money prior in all my years of playing just to summon for any character. I spent 13 months ago when Navia dropped. I spent on her weapon because Navia is my favorite Genshin character. I've bought merch. I've got figures of Ayaka and Ganyu. I've got the Hu Tao and the Eula figures pre-ordered. They're coming later in the year. I've got a little Hu Tao bobblehead thing. I've got a little Hu Tao lamp, like the little ghost lamp where you hit its head and it's a little lamp. It's adorable. It was like 20 bucks. I love it. I used to buy the Battle Pass monthly for years, but I actually stopped about mid last year because I wasn't really happy with my time and where the game was heading, and I was kind of getting very bored. I also just didn't need the resources anymore because I've been playing for so long. My Welkin Moon has just run out for the very first time in 900 days, and for the first time, I did not immediately renew it and give them my $5. I'm debating whether to actually bother, and that's definitely a change that I noticed, and another reason why I wanted to make this video and get back into gacha content and gaming. So I have loved Genshin Impact, right? I've invested monetarily, I've invested with my time, I invested with my emotions, everything. I am in, okay? But after Natlan, I'm feeling pretty goddamn disillusioned. Like, the traversal system tied to the new characters feels very restrictive because they're designed for specific regions and they don't translate well to other areas. The Archon's gameplay and design didn't quite click for me. Okay, Mavuika herself, she is really hot. Okay, she's beautiful. But the whole black latex sexy bike rider ghost rider thing, that's weird. For some reason, I just don't like this. It's immersion breaking to me. Okay, and a lot of the characters in Natlan have been a little bit immersion breaking for me. Just the world of Natlan in general, which was like hyped up as this war-torn, intense world, like the the Archon of War, turned out to be a colorful land of goddamn Pokemon and bright colors. Sure, the story does emphasize actual themes of death and loss, and don't get me wrong, it gives you a lot more lore into the heavenly principles and stuff like that. That part's really cool. But it's all wrapped up in this weirdly positive competition at the start, which just kind of felt childish, which they also get children to participate and go kill themselves, but you know, whatever. I get that Genshin skews towards a younger demographic, but it's still a gambling game. I think most people that play this are adults who can handle darker and more mature storytelling. Don't even get me started on the finale of the Archon quest. Somehow it all came down to the power of friendship and the traveler showing up at just the right time to save the day. Really, like, after 5 years in the Nation of War, I kind of expected better writing and plot development. A lot of Genshin's lore itself is actually incredible, I love it, but it's buried under mountains of dialogue and holy crap, Paimon's increasingly insufferable commentary. I want to strangle her. She doesn't just speak for you. It feels like she's speaking at you half the time and just repeating everything. There's no skip button, no meaningful player choices. It is frustrating and it's an outdated game design. So, enter Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves 2.0. When Wuthering Waves first launched, I gave it a shot, but I bounced off within the first week. I did not have the time to juggle another open world game alongside Genshin, Star Rail, and the anticipation of Zenless Zone Zero. As it turns out, I'm now playing all 4 of them. I need help. Please, this is a cry for help. Back then, I thought the combat was decent, but of course you only had a few characters to play with, and the story and the voice acting absolutely did not grab me. The world felt dull, it's a muted color palette, I didn't feel invested. I came back later on actually during Changli's banner, because let's be honest, she's stupidly stunning gorgeous, and I somehow won my first 50-50 with the currency that I had left over from when I quit. And I also pulled Verena from the standard banner, and suddenly I'm like, wow, the game clicked for me. But then it didn't, I dropped it 2 days later, because again, I just wasn't that particularly interested in another open world gacha. However, my friends, fast forward to 2.0. I could not escape the hype. The trailers that I was seeing, the tweets, YouTube videos, reactions, everything all over social media, and then I saw it. It was the flying, the traversal. Now, the traversal was always better than Genshin Impacts. It has been since 1.x of WuWa, okay? I feel like that's very hard to defend, that it's not better than Genshin's. Doesn't mean Genshin's is awful or bad, but WuWa's is just like another step above. But the flying, oh my god, the flying. And then the vibrant animations, the stunning vistas, the detailed water physics. It just gave me the same thrill when I first saw Fontaine and Genshin for the first time, because Fontaine was my favorite Genshin expansion, or region, or whatever it is. And let's be honest, Reno Cedar is just Fontaine Pro Max. Pro Max, because it's just unbelievably that much better than what the hell Fontaine was. And I love Fontaine. Couple that with the devs' responsiveness also just stood out to me. They listened to feedback. There was so many quality of life implemented features and changes. They created a game that feels player friendly. It was a perfect storm for me personally. I had 2 weeks off Christmas for work. Genshin had just left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth after Natlan, and I was already bored prior to Natlan arriving. Wuthering Waves was giving me everything I wanted at just the right time. Fast forward 3 to 4 weeks, right, to today. I'm level 50. I've finished the 2.0 story. I've built a team of Changli, Carlotta, and Verena. The story is quite good. It's a little cliche, but it's digestible. It's easy to understand. It's got cool set pieces. It's got interesting characters. Phoebe's cool. Zani, oh my god, I don't even need to say anymore. Everyone loves Zani. Brand, Rashia, they're all cool characters. I love it. The music is just god tier. What the fuck? Like, the music in this game is insane quality. But the biggest difference between Wuthering Waves 2.0 and my previous experience with Genshin the last year, I feel free. And I mean that in both the like metaphorically and physical sense. The traversal system is so many leagues ahead of Genshin's. And that was what Genshin was supposed to be known for, is the massive open world exploration gacha game. And I don't like exploring in that game anymore. I already didn't, But Wuthering Waves is just completely ruined and I can't go back. The open world feels more alive. The map feels more achievable. I can track everything that I want on the map and actually get it to 100% without endlessly wandering around and relying on crappy compasses or third-party websites or interactive maps on my phone or something. Meanwhile, Genshin has other issues that just still drive me crazy that Kuro games have just solved. Limited weekly boss fights. Why can I only fight a boss once a week? I'm still leveling up Mavuika's talents. Fucking 5-6 weeks after a banner is gone or something. It's ridiculous. A stamina system that stifles exploration. I hate it. The fact that I can only run for like 10 seconds, then I have to stand still. What? Why? Come on, we're 4 or 5 years into this. It was fine for a couple of years. Okay, but we've moved on as a community. The artifact farming is an exercise in frustration. Why do we not have artifact loadouts? Kuro's about to get it less than a year into the game. Fuck's sake. Why are map completions stuck at 99% with no clue what I'm missing? Going back to my point a second ago I made. After all this time, I still don't know. There's a couple of places in Liyue well, there's one place in Mondstadt where they're stuck at like 95, 99, 99, 98. I don't know what I'm missing and I might never find out. It's just, there's no way, there's nothing to help the player. It's so annoying. Ugh. Kuro games have just shown me what's possible with Wuthering Waves 2.0. The game feels like a video game first and a gacha game second. And I took that from somebody else's video I've recently watched. I forgot who it was. The devs communicate, they care, and they've created something that's not just a cash grab, but it's actually player friendly. And it just feels like they actually give a damn. Hoyoverse has never cared about us except for the Zenless Zone Zero team. Those guys, I'll glaze them every day. Okay, those guys are the fucking goats. But Genshin's, I don't know how long I'll stick with Wuthering Waves, but for now, it's got my 100% undivided attention. I am in. I want to min-max my characters. I want to 100% the map. I want to do everything. I want the new characters. I want to see where the story goes. I am interested. I am invested. I am intrigued. But for Genshin, I just waited for the Nation of War for 4 years to land a freaking Pokemon and the power of friendship. There was some cool lore in there and some cool characters. I don't hate it, but it just wasn't what I expected after that many billions of dollars from the company and the community. Anyway, that's my take. If you've stuck around this long, thanks for listening to just a random guy's very average opinion. I'm planning to cover the gacha games, the various 4 gacha games in just various capacities here and there. I'm going to be a very, very average content creator for gacha games. I don't want to nail myself down to anything specific, but I don't know, man. Just let me know how you're feeling about the direction of Genshin or Wuthering Waves. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll just leave it there. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest, but Kuro has just completely changed my mind on how to engage in an open world gacha game and actually make it fun. And it just goes to show that I knew Genshin was... I've been harping on about how bad Genshin's been for the last year or so to like some friends in Discord and stuff, which I know have been quite insufferable, but after seeing something like WuWa, it's like, how do you go back? How do you possibly go back to it and think that this is okay? This is fun. This is what we want. Ah, man. Anyway, I hope... anyway, I'll leave the video there. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fan-freaking-tastic rest of the day. And as always, my name is Zeno. And you guys take care now.